I haven't been out here to talk to you guys about these swales in so long because I'm so frustrated with it. I'm so upset at myself for not having recognized that I had this very invasive grass on my property, and that if I didn't do something with it ahead of time, that I would be causing my own downfall. So I made swales and super saturated the soil with water, and I had animals in here. It got nutrient dense with duck manures and pig manures. Pig manure is not all that much nutrients, but it's there. And planted comfrey and put in compost, and all I did was make it so easy for this invasive grass to take over. So how bad have things gotten, and what do I regret the most? That's what we're going to talk about today. So let me say it for you. This place is a disgusting mess, and we're waiting for our vehicle to be repaired so that I can haul trash off and things again. But I've been waiting for that for like 2 months. So if I don't shoot this video, I'm just going to keep talking myself out of it. So here's what happened. We put the geese over here first to combat the problem that I had mentioned before and just reiterated. And the geese didn't do anything. The geese really didn't care too much to eat any of this. They didn't do anything. They lived here, and it was nice having them in the front yard and looking at them and whatever, but that was it. The geese weren't worth anything when it came to fighting Cogongrass. So the next thing we did out of sheer desperation was to put in pigs. And the thought is, well, if we put in pigs, they'll dig up the roots, they'll eat the roots, and then the grass is gone. Well, we knew full well that we might lose the swales, and that's exactly what happened. The pigs came through here and wallowed and just took out swales, and you can see where this was. These were never big swales. It's only about a shovel full wide, about a shovel and a half wide, and you can see where it's all pushed back in there. And then if we come over to the next swale, you can see it's kind of pushed in here, and there it's low still, but here it got all pushed in, and it's just worse. It just keeps same thing. But what we didn't think about ahead of time, one of those things where you got to observe and think twice and make relations about an animal's behavior and the area you're putting them in, what we didn't think about was how pigs like to rub against things. And so this is the cherry tree that we put in several years ago. And one day we came out here, and this cherry tree was about a 45-degree angle this way. So you can see I'm trying to upright it, but now every other tree on the property has started to leaf except this one. We fear we've lost it. We think it's completely dead. I tried pruning a few branches. I knew I was going to be willing to prune anyway, and all of it was dead wood. There wasn't a speck of green in it. So we think we've lost the cherry tree. Could be the pigs, could be a combination of we're not really in the right zone to do cherries. That cherry tree ever produced, it would have been pretty fantastic. But the fact that the whole tree is dead kind of surprises us. Positive things that are going on. We do still have raspberry, this raspberry vine. That's I think it's pronounced Dorman raspberry. We got that in a couple different places. Here's another cane coming up for the Dorman, and you can start to see well, it's not going to want to focus that closely. Let me see if I can't. You can start to see the buds starting to come out on the tips of this apple tree. And then that's a red delicious. And then over here on the double, with the double grafted with the red and the golden delicious, it's already started to leaf out. And then over here, the comfrey is certainly happy. I don't think you can really make comfrey too unhappy. It's coming out already. It's got flowers. And let's see, what else can I show you? We got the rose bush that we planted for my memory of my mother is doing really well. It's about to open up that big old bud, first one of the season. So we're looking forward to that. The plum tree that we planted for my wife's father certainly put on a lot of flowers, but other than one or two little fruits, let me see if I can find it here. There it is. Other than one or two little fruits, can you see them? There's really not too much to speak of. It's definitely not going to be laden down with fruit. But it would be nice to get something out of it. Certainly would be nice. There's also flowers that I've planted all around that seem to have made it through the winter and coming back up. We have, I don't know if you noticed it over here by the rose plant. These are gladiolas. They'll send out their flower spike in the next few weeks. Oh, here's an interesting bit. This is a Asian persimmon. We marked this guy as dead. But look, this entire branch here is this year's growth. This entire branch is this year's growth. This entire branch is all this spring's growth. So we'll see how that goes. This was supposed to have a bunch of blackberries and all sorts of different plants in it, and all of that is getting covered over with weeds. The bay laurel does not like this kind of growing condition. And all of the blueberries, we had a blueberry way down here that got completely run over by a delivery vehicle. And the rest of these are putting on fruit, but it's nothing to really write home about. This is the Elliott's blueberry, the wild blueberry. And there are some things scattered about in there. You can see here's a strawberry that'll probably get found by ants before me. But you can see how well overgrown all of it is. Okay, so now comes the inevitable question, Jared, what are you going to do about it? Well, some people had mentioned that fire might be an option, set fire to this. Well, studies have shown that Cogongrass responds well to fire. It helps it propagate. So we actually saw that to an extent over where the grass fire took place. Of course, all that area was brown at the time, but then it actually greened up before anything else in the yard after that fire took place. So we're not going to set fire to this. Cogongrass fire is extremely hot and extremely wild. It's just going to go wherever it can catch. So we are not going to do that to ourselves. The best treatment for Cogongrass outside of spraying herbicide is to till. They recommend that you till it time and time again and basically eradicate it that way. Keep stressing out the roots to the point where it can't grow anymore. And I'm leaning that way, but of course running into complications with that. I have trees, I've got bushes and other things that are actually in the swales, and am not sure how to deal with that. I am to a point where I am about ready to till this entire area, including the swales. Just ditch the whole swales, till the whole area up, and eradicate this grass. And then once I know the grass is gone and I can overseed it, because I don't want to just till it once and then seed it with something like clover and find out all I'm doing is fixing nitrogen for the Cogongrass to come back. I need to eradicate the grass and then start overseeding it. And then I can dig the swales back up and things like that. So that's kind of where we are with the front yard swales and the Cogongrass situation. I'm not proud of it, but let it be a lesson to you that don't just spend so much time thinking about the layout of swales and the association of plants and the guilds that you're trying to set up. Remember to look at what you've already got and see whether or not, if the fertile land that you're about to plant is just going to provide a fertile area for something invasive that's 10 feet away. This Cogongrass used to be limited to the other side of the driveway. Just 10 feet on the other side of the driveway was the only place we saw Cogongrass 3 years ago. Now it's everywhere. Make sure you're checking all those things, because I missed one step, and missing that one step has almost set me up entirely for failure. So thank you all so much for watching. I hope that you have something to take away from this, something that you learned. If you have a better situation, some way to deal with this Cogongrass, I'm still open to hear suggestions for it. Just leave them down in the comments below or send me an email. Thank you all so much for watching. We'll see you next time.